Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $10,000 of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 69-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend is go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we've got these free quoters on just about every page. So all you need to do is just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there and the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that offer the lowest rates based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. Take advantage of that. It's a great way to start your price shopping journey. You can also visit us at 888-862-9456. A phone call there will put you in touch with a licensed agent who will be able to help you with any questions you have. Now, one of the first things we always encourage 69-year-old females looking for $10,000 worth of insurance to do is just to verify if $10,000 is appropriate for her final expense needs. Now, the first thing we recommend for a 69-year-old female looking for $10,000 is just verifying if $10,000 is even appropriate for her final expense needs. Now, final expense needs would typically be either a cremation or a burial. So let's talk about them in that order. There's two options for cremation. There's going to be the cremation where you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn, nothing fancy. That's going to be between $1,000 to $2,000, $1,000 to $2,000. If you're going to have a ceremony in addition to the cremation, like a remembrance ceremony or a celebration of life ceremony, something like that, that's typically going to be in the $3,500 to $4,500 range, depending what part of the country you live in. Now, as far as coverage for that policy where it's going to be just you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend a coverage amount of right around $5,000 to $7,000. That's what we help most people with, by the way. And you know, some of you might be saying, "Well, hey, Randy, you'd mentioned that the cremation was like $2,000 and then you said $5,000 for the policy. What's the deal there?" Well, good question. The deal there is our 69-year-old female probably wants to make it to 79, maybe even 89. And what we know is that prices tend to go up over time due to inflation. So what we're doing is we're locking in our rates at today's youngest age and getting a little bit more coverage than we need right now. And that will inflation-proof the plan in years to come. And what's nice about that is that way your family members won't have to pay anything in the future, even as prices go up. The other nice feature is it protects in the short term. Say you died sooner than anybody thought, and there were some extra medical bills or credit card bills or something like that. Those could be paid off with the extra money from the policy. So that doing it this way not only protects in the long term due to inflation, but short term just for any other financial needs. Now, for that cremation where you've got the ceremony as well, most of the time we're helping people with around $7,000 to $10,000. And we do the same thing. We protect that policy long-term with a little more coverage, but also protect short-term, just God forbid something happened and there was some extra expenses. So that works terrific for most folks. Now, the average cost of a burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. And you know, if you pretty much walk into any funeral home in the United States with the $10,000 check, they should be able to help you. It may not be anything fancy for $10,000, but they should help you. If they don't help you, then you can just walk out the door, you know, walk 2 blocks down the road and go to one of their competitors, and you should be able to find somebody to help you out. But again, that's going to be today's cost. That is not inflation-proofed by any means. But if you're on a fixed or limited income and that's all you can afford, get that right now. That takes care of your most immediate needs. We can always add more coverage later. So what we're typically helping people out, age 69 females, we're typically helping them with $10,000 to $15,000, sometimes $20,000, just depending how extravagant their funeral is going to be. But yeah, anywhere in there is fine. We can typically help you dial that in a little closer once we know what your exact needs are. Now, once in a while, somebody will call up and say, "Hey, I want to get my final expense insurance, my burial insurance, cremation insurance, whatever it is. But I also want to leave some money behind for the kids, so I'd like to look at $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, whatever it is." So let's say it's $50,000. We run them some rates, and they'll say, "Whoa, that's probably a little more than we can afford. We're just not going to do anything at all." And we have to remind them that they actually came in first to take care of the final expense needs. And for most people, just adding some coverage to the kids would be nice, but it's not a necessity. So what we typically recommend is, hey, let's get the final expense policy taken care of first, because we know you're going to die. We just don't know when, but that's a given. You are going to die. If you don't have this taken care of and you don't do anything, your kids are going to end up with this burden, and they're the ones that are going to have to pay. They're probably going to have to put it on a credit card, 26% interest, and they'll be paying on this years and years and years. And that's a terrible burden to leave behind. So let's separate them out, get your final expenses taken care of first, and then we can always come back later and add a separate policy for the kids if that's what you want to do. But that's a nice way to do it. It's kind of the responsible way to do it as well. One thing we always recommend doing and getting is first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend plans with 2-year waiting periods, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what first day coverage means is that if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write out that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever the coverage amount is. And that's going to be the best coverage. It's also going to have the lowest pricing. And, some people will say, though, hey, Randy, you're right. I do like that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health, and I'm more worried I may not qualify because I know they ask health questions. And to that, we always say, hey, that's our responsibility. That's not your problem at all, at least from an insurance standpoint. And what we mean by that is we work with a bunch of different insurance companies that all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting requirements. And really right now, about 95% of the time, we're able to get people first day coverage or benefits. So we're terrific at what we do. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to get you first day coverage is if you just waited too long and you had some significant health issues going on, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to die in the next 12 months, or maybe you have dementia, or you're on dialysis or in a hospital or a nursing home. If that were the case, we would typically refer you out to a different insurance company. Another thing that happens on a weekly basis, it seems, is somebody will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have any insurance and we don't have any money, and their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get the money to pay the funeral home director. We have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a policy on a dead person. Yeah, that's not how this works. And it's tragic. It's very sad that they had a family member pass away, but it's doubly sad that they didn't care enough to get this insurance in place before they did die. They knew they were going to die someday. They'd probably thought about getting this insurance, and they put it off. And then one day they just went and died. And now their family members have to take care of this. And chances are they're going to have to put it on a credit card, paid off at 26% interest. And it's going to take years and years and years. What a terrible legacy to leave behind. You could have done everything right in life up to this point, and you mess up this one last thing, and that's how you'll be remembered. So don't do that. Don't put your burden on somebody else. This insurance is affordable. If you need to, you can start out small. We can always help you add more coverage later. One thing we don't recommend, though, like I mentioned before, is those 2-year waiting period plans. And Colonial Penn's fairly well known. I think their $9.95 commercials are on TV. Seems like every 7 minutes, right? But did you know their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period? Ouch. Yeah, we don't recommend that at all. Man, if you qualify for first day coverage, you should absolutely not be buying 2-year waiting period plans. But, Colonial Penn's not the only company that offers those 2-year waiting period plans. There's other companies too. Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha plan, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, just so many different other insurance companies. And, some of these companies out there have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 69-year-old female probably just got done watching one of those Colonial Penn TV commercials, and she's probably thinking, oh my gosh, I'm $9.95. That commercial was so nice, and they seem so friendly. I'm probably going to get so much coverage. I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. Ooh. And we, and then they talk with the Colonial Penn agent, or they get on their website like we've done for you here, and they see that a female age 69, 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to get $1,057 worth of coverage. Now, I got to tell you, that may pay for a cremation in very few places in the United States. Man, much of the United States, they're not going to touch a cremation, but you might get someplace way out in the woods where, I don't know, the firewood's cheap or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's just not going to take care of it in most cases. And even if it did, it wouldn't matter because this plan has a 2-year waiting period. And if you die in the first 2 years of a health or medical reason, they're not going to approve. They're not going to pay that. No. So some people would say that, you know, companies that offer these really low teaser rates, they're offering those really low rates just to get your information, to get you in their marketing funnel. And then what happens, they get you on the phone and they'll happily show you that lowest rate. And then they'll show you how minimal, how measly that coverage amount is. And then what they'll do is they'll try to upsell you to more expensive coverage that's more profitable for the insurance company. Now, we would never say Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that, but some people are fairly convinced of that. And I guess that you'll probably have to determine that on your own based off the fact that you're only getting $1,057 for $9.95. And that doesn't even pay for a cremation, really. Certainly not a cremation with the ceremony. And you're like not even hardly a tenth of a way to a burial. So the purpose of this video is to shop around for $10,000. So let's try to get as close as we can. I got a feeling that's going to be 10 units because 1 unit's $1,057. Here we go. So if you're looking at roughly 10,000, this is going to be $10,570. You can't get $10,000 on those because they sell by unit. They don't sell by coverage amount like all the normal companies out there. But if you look at that, that's quite a bit more than that $995, right? 10 times more, right? So yeah, it's going to be $99.50 to get roughly $10,000 worth of insurance. So let's do this. Let's check out and see what first day coverage would be like. Here we go. We're going to go 10,000, female, age 69, and we're going to click get quote. And again, this is 10,000 for roughly $100. Let's see what it is here. Woohoo! Look at that. I'm going to show you just so you see it again here. $10,000. We're on the nose. So that's going to be $49. Literally half price. And this is not uncommon. Typically, when we look at our lowest price carriers and compare that to Colonial Penn is typically 200% more expensive. So let's look at this. That's right around $49. So it's about $50 more. And consider this. So you're with Colonial Penn, you're going to overpay $50 a month every single month for the rest of your life. And you're going to get sacked with a 2-year waiting period. Why would you ever do that? Let's do the math on that. $50 a month times 12 months is going to be roughly $600 a year. If our 69-year-old female lives to age 79, you're going to overpay roughly $6,000 in the next 10 years on a $10,000 policy if you go with Colonial Penn. Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever transfer $6,000 of your money from your bank account to Colonial Penn's bank account when you don't have to do that? If you qualify for first day coverage, you should never, ever accept a 2-year waiting period plan. You got to be a smart consumer. And if you're not a smart consumer, that's okay. We can help you be a smart consumer. We can help shop around for you. Let's take a look at some of these other companies, though. So we know this company, and we can help you get approved with these companies. So and this is level coverage. I want to show you that level. That means first day coverage. That's exactly what you want. Yes. Let's see. So 49, and you'll be able to see all these different insurance companies on the quarter, and that will help you understand that you're getting the lowest rates. Oh, here's one, like Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but look at that pricing. Oh my gosh, like $24 more a month. Yikes, right? Level coverage, which you do want, first day coverage, but it's like $24 a month, right? More. Why is it so much more expensive? Well, Lincoln Heritage's got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly price shop 2 or 3 different funeral homes to get like the lowest pricing, maybe do a few other things, but they charge for that. They do not do that for free. No, they charge more for that, like $24 more. So, you know, let's do the math on that. $24 more. It's going to be an extra $288 a year. And you think, well, that may not be bad. I mean, they're awfully nice and they're calling 2 or 3 funeral homes. But what if our 69-year-old female lives to age 79? You will have now overpaid $2,880 roughly. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company an extra $2,880 roughly to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and do a few other things that might only take an hour or so to do? You know, a lot of people would say, that's a pretty good payday for an insurance company to make that much in an hour. And you know what? We are firm believers that money is better off in your savings account, your checking account, versus transferring that over to the bank account of an insurance company. And so what we recommend you do is let us help you get approved for the lowest price plan. And then what we do is we have a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can download that off our website. Once you download it off our website, it's totally free, by the way. Once you download that, just print it out and then open it up and then just fill it out. You write down who gets what and what goes where and what you want done after you're gone. And then when you're finished with that, keep it with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family members will go to that one place and they'll know that you not only protected them financially with the insurance, but they'll also know that you protected them emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. And all you'll need to do is open up that funeral and estate planning guide, and all they'll need to do is just open that and read it, and then follow the wishes that you had written down in there. And they'll have that peace of mind knowing that they're doing everything exactly the way you wanted it done. And they will know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you actually loved and protected them in death, exactly at that one time when they would need you the most and when you're not there. And you can be there that one last time for them with a policy in that funeral and estate planning guide. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. If you want to leave that legacy behind, go to funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quarter for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, and you can get the most discounts and the lowest rates and the best prices. We highly recommend you take advantage of that and do some price shopping on your own. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our licensed agents can help you out over the phone. But, you know, if you've got an existing policy and you want us to price shop it for you, or you just want to see about adding more coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for a brand new policy or just have some questions or concerns or want to know what's going to be best for you, we can help you out with that. Just give us a call. But we look forward to that day where we can get you the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.